Hey everybody, Blu-ray here, and as you guys could tell by the titles of this video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite games of 2016 or 2016, however you guys want to say it. And if I sound a little weird, that's because I'm kind of sick in a way. But yeah. So anyway, so I did one last year, so I figured why not keep the tradition going, or I would, make these kind of videos. And or basically giving out my showing you guys what games I enjoyed, you know. So yeah. But anyway, so this is basically my personal opinion. So if you have a particular game that you liked for this year, and and I don't say it, well, sorry about that. But just don't get butthurt about it. Don't be like, man, fuck you. This game should have been on your list or whatever. I don't know. But if you guys have your own personal top 5 favorite games of this year, or top 10, whatever the hell it may be, let me know in the comments down below. And let's get started. And before we get started, last year, I would show pictures and whatnot, or pictures will be popped up on the screen on the bottom corner. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that because for some weird reason, Sony Vegas just doesn't want to cooperate with me in terms of adding pictures within the video. So if I'm talking and moving around, the picture will be there and whatnot. But anyway, so let's get started, shall we? 5. Alright, starting from number 5, it was sort of kind of tough because I already came up with the top 3 games that I liked, but doing a top 5 video is kind of tricky for me to do because it's just like, what are the last 2 games that I liked, in a way, like starting from 5 and 4. But it was very tricky, both of these games were developed by, or published by EA, and it was tough choice for me in terms of which one did I like the most, Titanfall 2 or Battlefield 1. And eventually I thought about it, and for my favorite game of 2016, starting at number 5, is Battlefield 1. Now, I haven't really gotten deep into the campaign itself, but the multiplayer I play, like, I don't know how long I've been playing on the multiplayer, like a couple hours or so. Or not a couple hours, but I put in a lot of hours into the multiplayer, and it's overall really fun. I love it. It's pretty much the game that Call of Duty fans practically wanted. Because Call of Duty fans, some of the Call of Duty fans are really sick and tired of futuristic games. In terms of the newer Call of Duty games, because we got Infinite Warfare now that's been available, and EA just came out of nowhere and just like, check it out, Battlefield 1 set in World War I, bitches. It's fucking crazy. Infinite Warfare got a shit ton of dislike, and then the trailer for this one got a shit ton of likes. And yeah, and this is truly, I think, in my personal opinion, one of the best multiplayer games. Or in terms of the multiplayer, it's really good. I love it. The weapons are great and whatnot, and just overall a true boots on ground traditional gameplay. And yeah, so step your game up, Call of Duty, because Battlefield, at least in my opinion, won in terms of a military shooter kind of game. I don't know. I'm not gonna go and say it's the best of the in terms of first person shooter games, because people are gonna be like, fuck Battlefield 1, Overwatch or whatever. But in terms of versus this and Call of Duty, this wins hands down. 4. Alright, so starting at number 4, which was another tricky one. It was either between Overwatch and Final Fantasy 15, and I chose Final Fantasy 15. Now, don't get butthurt that I didn't choose Overwatch, as to be part of my list and whatnot. It's just, it's a great game, but it's multiplayer only. There's no single player campaign. There's no story involved in it, so that kind of like, like, I prefer games with a great story. Like, if it's just only a single player game, and whatnot, I'll be fine with that as long as it's not short and it provides a great story. That the characters are likable, and you could waste a shit ton of hours into this game. But yeah. Anyway, so I never played a Final Fantasy any of the Final Fantasy games at all. So, you know, when I first bought this game, I was a little worried that I wouldn't like this game, and surprisingly, I ended up liking this game. It's a great game. You know, I haven't really put in a lot of hours into this game like most people have, and some people already finished it. But overall, it's a good game, great story, you know, great characters, love the environment, you know, love the gameplay, and which the gameplay itself, some people have a problem with because it's not traditional turn-based RPG gameplay, which, you know, I'm old school like that. I'm used to that. You know, I'm used to, you know, turn-based RPG, you know, games. But this one, you know, I didn't have an issue with. I thought it was fine, you know, in terms of the gameplay itself. You know, it's fun, addicting, and I love the music. That's the number one thing that I like about this game is the music. The soundtrack to this game is just fucking amazing. It's just like if they had the soundtrack on Spotify, because that's the app that we use to listen to music. If they ever put in the full soundtrack of this game into Spotify, I will be bumping that shit up every time I go to work. So yeah. So Final Fantasy 15 is number 4.
3.
Alright, so now we're getting into the good shit, and starting at number 3 will be Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. And this is, at least in my personal opinion, one of the best Naruto games, one of the best Naruto fighting games of all time. Or I mean, not the number one best, because I mean the original on the PlayStation 2 were a lot better, you know, in terms of the gameplay and then the jutsus that you perform in that, they were a lot better. And I'm hoping that they'll remaster it or at least port it into the PlayStation 4, you know, the whole PS2, PS4 shit. One of those, I'd be super fucking happy. But anyways, so Storm 4, it's visually beautiful, you know, in terms of the animation wise. But if you have it set to English dub, it's just really awkward because, you know, it's the typical, you know, mouth moving around, you know, like they'll say like, you know, like, I'm gonna get you, and then their mouth's still moving constantly, you know, still, you know. That's why I said it to Japanese, so that way it does, you know, it makes sense. Um, or that it doesn't come out that weird, but anyways, so overall, I enjoyed the living hell out of this game. When I bought this game, I was just so hot. I was just really hyped for this game. Like, it was, I put in a lot of hours into this game, and, you know, just like, and even fighting against my friends, you know, on PlayStation is just like, you know, awesome. And it sucks that we never fully did a tournament because I wanted to do one, you know, and even upload it to my channel, but that unfortunately never happened. But, you know, whatever. But anyway, so this is, you know, my personal favorite game of this year, or my favorite Naruto game of this year, and yeah, so graphics are beautiful. In terms of the story, it's pretty good, but there's some things I don't like about it in terms of some of the cutscenes. I mean, mainly the fact that it doesn't consist of cinematic cutscenes. I mean, there'll be some that it does, and then some that it doesn't. But when you get to the end where you fight Sasuke as Naruto, it's like it's worth it. You know, like I fucking love playing that level. It's just so much fun, very touchy, very emotional scene ever. So yeah, so yeah, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. I was about to say 3. Storm 4 is number 3.
2.
Now starting at number 2, pretty much you might consider it a cheat, but it's not really much of a cheat because it's practically the same game itself, but it's just different things. But number 2 is both Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, and pretty much it's not really much of a cheat, you know. They're both the same game itself. You just obviously catch different kinds of Pokemon, and they, you know, different shit goes on in these games. But I mainly played I mainly been playing Sun the most because the Pokemon itself looked awesome, you know, more awesome than this one, my personal opinion. But yeah, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon overall is just like, at least in my personal opinion, one of the best Pokemon games I ever played. I think a little bit better than X and Y, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, X and Y is pretty good, but in terms of the story, it's kind of like, eh. You know, the villain itself is pretty weak, in that game. But overall, it's a really good Pokemon game. I mean, I love every single Pokemon game, you know. But this one, is still traditional Pokemon gameplay style. You find a new Pokemon, you weaken it, you throw a Pokeball, you catch it. But there's some new things added into this game that's very different from any other Pokemon game, but it doesn't change it completely to the point where it doesn't feel like Pokemon. And this one, you don't collect any gym badges at all. There's no 8 gym badges that you need to collect before you go into the Pokemon League. This one, you're collecting Z crystals, and what's cool about the Z crystals, they provide more like a unique signature move they can do. It involves more of a Z kind of like dance style, and it's really cool to perform. You know, so far I don't know much about the Mega Evolution. I mean, I'm sort of halfway towards the end of the game, not quite too sure. But that's the only thing I'm very curious about is where's the Mega Evolutions, because that was kind of a thing in X and Y. This one is heavily focused on the Z moves, and yeah. So collecting the Z crystals are pretty much good, and in terms of the Z crystals, basically it involves through trials that you have to do, and then you battle either a totem Pokemon or the guardian or whatever, the leader type shit, and then you get Z crystal. And yeah, so overall it's a great Pokemon game to play. It's really fun. There is some things about the game that kind of I didn't like, which is there's a little bit of a lag in this game. Like the frame rate would drop a bit in terms of when you do a double battle or triple battle, whatever the case may be. Especially double battles, that's where it drops a bit. I don't know if it has to do with the 3DS console itself. I don't know if you need to have a new 3DS XL, because if that's the case, that's pretty fucked up. Because I don't have the XL, I just have the regular new 3DS. But overall, this is one of the best Pokemon games ever. In my personal opinion. So yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon is number 2.
1.
Alright guys, so here it is. My number 1 favorite game of 2016, and to me, in my personal opinion, should have won Game of the Year, but that's just me. But anyways, my number 1 favorite game of 2016. You guys probably more likely already know what it is if you guys been watching my unboxing videos or know me personally and whatnot. But my number 1 favorite game of 2016 is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This game is hands down one of the best Uncharted games I ever played in terms of the story, the gameplay. It's just absolutely amazing. The graphics are amazing, and the actors who lend their voices into these characters, Nolan North, Troy Baker, Laura Bailey, and so on. They just do an amazing job with that, And this game, yes, it does kind of start off slow, but this is more of a story kind of based kind of game. Obviously you're not gonna get much of action, going on right away, but overall it's one of the best stories. In terms of the story, it's really good, and I love the gameplay itself. It's just great. Every time, as soon as I started playing this game, my mouth just dropped. Wow, this is beautiful. This is fucking amazing. It's just my mind was blown away with this game. It's just, Naughty Dog, you just, once again, mwah, another masterpiece from you guys. You guys never fail to deliver such amazing games. And I cannot wait for the standalone DLC, whatever it's gonna be, DLC or standalone game itself, The Lost Legacy. Can't wait for that, and I also can't wait for The Last of Us Part 2. I know that's gonna be an amazing game because it's fucking Naughty Dog. Come on. If you guys are doubting Naughty Dog that they're gonna fuck it up with The Last of Us Part 2, that they're gonna screw up that game, nah. It's fucking Naughty Dog. They're not fucking Activision, those fucking money hungry whore cunts. No. This is fucking Naughty Dog we're talking about. They put in a lot of passion into their games. They're pretty much gamers themselves. Versus other companies, they're just okay, yeah, we'll just do this and that. We're not gonna fully test it out. We'll just have probably some people test it out themselves, and then when the full game comes out, we'll just make a quick buck out of it. No, Naughty Dog, they're very passionate about their games, and they clearly show that with Uncharted 4. Now the multiplayer, it's okay, but I personally wasn't like, yes, I can't wait to play Uncharted 4 so I can start playing the multiplayer. I immediately wanted to play the campaign because the first Uncharted game only had the campaign itself, and then two started, came with the multiplayer. But anyway, so Uncharted 4, amazing fucking game. If you guys never played Uncharted 4 or any of the Uncharted games, I highly recommend you start playing the Uncharted games right away. Starting off with the first one, obviously, because it just makes sense to do that. Even though the first one wasn't truly the best game from Naughty Dog, but once you start playing 2, 3, and 4, it gets so much better. And I'm not even joking. Like, it really does get a lot better. But anyway, so that is the end of this video. That is my top 5 favorite games of 2016. And like I said, these are my personal opinions, so don't get butthurt. If your game didn't make it on the list somehow, I don't know. But if it doesn't, just let me know in the comments down below your guys' personal favorite games of 2016, top 5, top 10, whatever the case may be. Let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, I can't wait for 2017 in terms of games. Not too excited about the year itself, that everything's gonna be a lot better. I'm just more looking forward to the fucking games that are coming out next year. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to click on that like button and subscribe for more future videos to come. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.